Hi everybody, I hope you are all doing well. It is Saturday morning and I've just did like an emergency dash to the shops to pick up a few bits and bobs right as they opened. So I'm a little flushed because I've just gotten back and my hair is as flat as pancake because I had to put my hat on given that it's like -2 at the moment. So forgive the way I look. It's one of those days. I really hope you enjoyed the last Advent book reveal. I really enjoyed doing that one, and since then I've been obsessively listening to Frankenstein or watching Frankenstein related stuff. It's been brilliant. So now I'm very excited to find out what book number 5 is. So in case you haven't seen my introduction video that I did about this whole series, I bought the adult edition of the Bookishly Advent calendar. And so I am opening them on camera and talking about the various books as I reveal them. I have no idea what these books are, but yeah, we're going to open book number 5. And as usual, I will include a link to the Bookishly website in the description below. So let's open number 5. Excited to see which one this is. Can we guess from the back cover, possibly? Oh, we've got a bunch of flowers and a bird. Oh, okay. I've no clue. What is this? Oh! It's Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Oh, that is so sweet and so pretty. Oh, wow. My God. That is so beautiful. Oh, I really like that. Okay, we don't have a Spotify scan this time again, and it doesn't tell us who the designer was, and that is the Wordsworth cover for the book, because obviously it's the Bookishly dust cover is exclusive that you get. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. I love the flowers. I love the flowers and Tess and everything. It's just, if it had a strawberry on there as well, like in the corner or something, that would have been icing on the cake for me. But you know, I can cope without a strawberry. It's fine. And I know probably people who know the story go, why would you want the strawberry there? Because and I'm like, yeah, I understand, but at the same time, it's an important element, and also it is something that appears to be totally innocent, and it turns into something else, as we know, like the character who gives the strawberry to Tess. If you know what I'm talking about. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll explain a little bit about Tess of the D'Urbervilles. So Tess of the D'Urbervilles follows a girl called Tess in the 1800s, and she is from a poor family. She lives with her parents and her siblings, and they have quite a hard life, and her dad drinks a lot and such. And one day, she's a country girl. She's very, homely kind of country girl. And then one day her father comes home saying that he's had somebody look at the family heirlooms and discovered that their family are actually from a very wealthy family called the D'Urbervilles, because they're called the Derby Fields, and it's the D'Urbervilles who are the wealthy ones, as someone broke away from the family and they are descended from that line. And Tess is sent to the D'Urbervilles' house to basically say, look, I'm a relative of yours, and her dad kind of says, get some money out of them or whatever, and she ends up getting a job. And the woman who lives in the D'Urberville family, she's this very old woman who's blind, and she connects to Tess. She has a really lovely relationship to Tess, but her son Alec is a whole nother ball game, and he becomes quite attached to Tess, and it's all about a situation that happens at a party that at the D'Urberville house that will change Tess's life forever, and the consequences of that, how it ricochets down, through her life, and it's absolutely beautiful story written by Thomas Hardy. I haven't actually gotten round to reading any more Thomas Hardy that I can think of. Yeah, I don't think I have. That's something I need to look into. But yeah, there have been some really interesting productions of Tess of the D'Urbervilles through the years. There is a BBC drama version, which because I have reviewed this book on this channel before. Well, the review was it was like I was doing like a I can't, no. I remember now because it was when my channel first started. I did videos where I talked about books that I had previously read. So I talked about Tess then, and then it went. I was doing a reread, and sadly, my believe that was when my grandmother passed away, and so I just did a video explaining what was going on, and so I sent a link to that review. So I'm gonna have to do the link to that review again in the description of this video. But yeah, so it was a long while ago. I think I talked about that drama. I'm pretty sure I did, but that's my favorite TV drama of Tess. And there's been a couple of good BBC radio dramas of it as well. If you want to look into those, they're available on Audible because I've seen them on Audible. But yeah, Tess has got so much to it. It caused massive stir when it came out because, but I'm gonna have to say the word that is related to this book. So it is a spoiler, but it's not spoiling later stuff. But Tess is raped, and it's the fact that there was a woman who is the protagonist of a book who is poor, who goes through so much and then is raped, and then there's all of this other stuff that happens afterwards. It was a massive deal when this book came out because at that time you didn't have really depictions of rape at all. And what is so interesting is that Thomas Hardy does this thing where he tells you what happens with the build-up, and then the chapter ends, and then it opens after it's happened, and Tess is just laying on the ground, and her dress is open and such, and Alec is off nearby, and he doesn't explicitly say what happens. He leaves it to the mind of the reader. But to me and to so many other people who have read this book, it was a rape. It is a rape. But, it's that thing that Thomas Hardy never explicitly says it. He lets you decide what happened. And then, yeah, you see the ricochet down the life of Tess and what impact that makes, even when periods when it's not even a factor in her day-to-day thinking, or, now suddenly out of the blue something can happen. She could be completely fine and happy, and then suddenly it just out of nowhere, like a bolt of lightning or something, she's just completely overwhelmed by it. It's so interesting, and the people around her also who are affected, friends, family, people who she comes to meet later on in her life. And Angel, my God, Angel Clare, what a character, what an interesting character. And there are times in this book where I am like, for fuck's sake, Angel, listen to kind of, where is this perspective coming from? I don't get it. But then obviously I am not from the time when this book was written, when society was very, very different. In ways I can understand his views, but in other ways I'm like, oh, for God's sake, be a human fucking being and realize what the hell is happening here. It's extremely dark. There's a sequence that breaks my heart and makes me cry whenever I've read it, to do with a graveyard. And if you know the story, you know what I'm talking about. And that, it just, oh, that's a tough chapter. That is a tough chapter for me to read. And yeah, and that's just one instance of various stuff that happens to Tess through the years. It's just so well put together, and it's beautifully written, well constructed. I love the characters, I love the setting, I love everything, and the the flowers and the birds on this book, because the birds with the woman in the house, Mrs. d'Urberville, because she keeps birds. It's like, oh my god, this cover is just, look at it, look at that. It's just so, oh god, I just keep on wanting to look at it. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. Yeah, it's a stunning story about a character who at that time publishers wouldn't have gone near. So the fact that Thomas Hardy gave Tess the ability to tell her story, as it were, and a publisher allowed it to be published. That's an incredible thing. It's yeah, this isn't a light story. This isn't a story. I mean, it has it has happy elements, but especially like the ending, it's so tragic. It's one thing after another, but my god, it is a stunning story. Stunning story. And thinking about the BBC drama, the recent drama that I talk about in my review, at least I think I do, it has like Gemma Arterton, Jodie Whittaker, Anne Massey, Eddie Redmayne, Hans Matheson. Who else is in it? Ruth Jones. There's so many like amazing actors in that production, and it's so well put together. It's one of my favorite adaptations in any form of Tess. It really is, and the way it's shot is stunning. So yeah, there we go. Number 5 is Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. Oh, see what number 6 is on Monday. I'm very excited. So yeah, on Monday it'll be the halfway point. Already, that is crazy. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you in a couple of days for the next one, and you'll find my Tess of the D'Urberville review and discussions and that below in the description. All right, guys, bye.